forgot how
Uh-oh.
to stop. I forgot how to stop the screen share.
Oops.
I have to write this down in the future.
Well,
Oh
now
my
you
God.
know.
Where was that little sucker at before? Oh well, never mind. Who cares?
Because people who look at us, mine pops up when I put my pointer at the bottom.
Yeah. And on what?
The bottom of the screen. I have full screen.
Yeah, I have share, but when I click on the share thing,
Uh-huh.
um, it it doesn't tell me how to stop it. Uh, oh well, we'll figure it out later.
Just click it.
Here we are. This is Deborah calling Rose at Miles of Smiles events at the Crystal Clear Point Studios with Lulu Morris from Ancient Apothecary. And we usually have a third, Matthew Pierce, but he is not here with us. This is driving me nuts, I have to admit. That I can't turn off. How I oh well, who cares? Who cares? So
She's in the who cares mode today. It's okay.
who gives a fuck? So anyway,
Oh dear.
who gives a fuck? We were talking about what we were going to talk about. And so we were having this discussion, and I've been wanting to talk about the presidential election, which I normally don't like to do because I don't usually get drawn into political conversations because I don't agree with most of y'all. I don't like Trump, I don't like Biden, I don't like Harris. I'm a libertarian by spirit. And of course, we will never win an election that of any importance, because we don't have anybody, because this is a two-party country and nothing's really going to change that unless we do something bizarre.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
we decided to stay away from that. I'm a little hyper right now. I'm having my protein shake. And so then I thought, well, let's talk about the Olympics, but I don't watch the Olympics. So who gives a damn?
And I said, I didn't watch it either.
But
I
I do
haven't
think
watched it in 50 years or
I have
40.
never watched Olympics. I don't like sports. To me, sports is something that you do, you don't watch. Why
Mhm.
watch it? You
Right.
either play it or you don't. I don't get that. And but there's all that hoopla over Lady Gaga's thing being bad or the mic didn't work or whatever. And then of course everybody was oohing on over Celine Dion, and I don't like her music. I'm entitled to like what I like. And
Well, her music to me is okay. It's very painful to look at someone who is a stick. She just seems so ill all the time.
I don't even look at it, so I don't know. But I don't like her voice. I'm not fond of really high soprano voices.
Hmm.
And I do think I'm gonna go on YouTube and see if I can find the Snoop Dogg videos because I love him. I think he's hilarious. And I think he and I would be like this because he likes old white women, it seems like. He and Martha
Yeah,
Stewart are close.
he and Martha are close.
Yeah. And then there's all that hoopla over the drag queen ceremony that yes, they were making fun of the Lord's Supper. No, they weren't making fun of the Lord's Supper. Who gives a shit if they're making fun of the Lord's Supper? Who cares?
What was that? I don't know anything about that.
I don't really know anything either because I haven't watched the video. But everybody seems to be butthurt over the fact that they're making fun of Christians, and then they said that they weren't making fun of Christians, and then somebody said that they were making fun of Christians, and then supposedly they came out and said yes, it was a parody on Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper. Well, that would be the Lord's Supper that you're making fun of them, right? And then there was some man that was all in blue body paint, and I saw his picture, and to me, he looked like Papa Smurf, and he was nude with fruit, strategically placed, and he was supposed to be making a parody of the Greek god of festivities, and all that was supposed to be Greek mythology, and I'm like,
Mhm.
who gives a shit?
Well, it's just not important
It's
in
not.
this in the and that's what kind of happens, I think, to comedians. They can't really tell any jokes now because they're not being sensitive. But that's not what comedians do.
No, it's to make fun of our human foibles, to make us look
Mhm,
at them hardcore, just to see where we're at with that, you know. And I
mhm.
love Ricky Gervais. He's an atheist and I'm not. So we would never get married probably, but I love his sense of humor. And
Yeah,
Matt Rife is another comedian that I like, and he's
he's
gotten a lot of flack.
yeah.
Oh, I'd ride that all night long. He's so cute.
Wow, you went to a meeting today and you just got raunchy.
Yeah, this is who I am when I don't have people bugging me. I'm fun. Like Leanne Morgan says, I'm fun. You know, I just never get a chance to be fun because everybody's so damn serious or so proper, and I think I should start the church called First Fun Church of Christianity.
Okay, all
You
right.
can be Christians and you can be irreverent and you can cuss and you can drink a little and still love Jesus.
I was smiling at a funeral and I was in trouble because I wasn't somber.
The point, I guess I should make a point. Should we make a point? The point I'll try to make is that if you want to be butthurt, you can find something to be butthurt about. If they
Yeah,
want to make fun of Christianity, I think that's sad that they feel the need to do that. Why do they feel the need to do that? But I will say this. I will say this. It certainly does seem that there's a lot of poking and prodding of people that call themselves Christian saying you're not being a good Christian. And the only reason that annoys me is that no one ever says, well, you're not being a good Muslim, or you're not being a good Jew, or you're not being a good heathen, or you're not being a good pagan. And you know why? Because there's no model of accountability for those religions. But everybody seems to know what the accountability scale is for Christianity. Back off. That's what I got to say to
well,
that. Back
you
off.
remember we talked about kindness the other day,
Yep.
last week. All I
Yep.
can say is kindness, being kind to others and treating others like you want to be treated. What else do you need to know?
And I don't believe that there's anything that says good Christian, bad Christian in the Bible. Maybe there is. Maybe somebody will school me if there is. But it just says that if you love God and you love your brothers and you love yourself, then, things will kind of fall into place. And I'm sorry. Um, what do other religions use as their model of operation? And they have
I don't
them.
think we know.
Well, yeah, we do if you look and read it, but that's the whole thing. Everybody seems to know what Christianity is supposed to be about, but nobody knows what the others seem to be about. Like in the pagan religion, it says, do what you want, but don't harm anyone. Now, here's my problem with that statement. I do have a problem with that statement. Who defines harm? And just in our circumstances where I interfered in your personal business last year, we won't go into the details. I did. And I'm going to tell you right now, by everything out there as far as psychology is concerned and boundaries and all that stuff, I crossed every one of them and burned it
Yes,
to a
you did.
ground. Good. But I did what I felt was in your best interest. And I couldn't stand by and see you do something that I thought that was really going to traumatize you. Now, was I right? No, I was not right, but I acted out of love.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think that's the best that we can offer is to act on love.
And it was the best I could offer. It really was. But what was I going to say? Oh, it doesn't matter. But the point is that sometimes you do things that they don't meet up to other people's standards, but you feel compelled to do to help people or to help yourself or whatever. And the bottom line is quit friggin' judging everything. If you don't like it, turn the TV off. If you don't like it, don't talk to them. If you don't like it, go someplace else. You know what? Look for the people that you do like. Watch the TV shows you do like and quit criticizing everything. Good Lord. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I think that a lot of people in general have become too sensitive. They're too sensitive. They think everything is pointed at them, and
I
it's
mean,
not.
I mean, are you really, really, really butthurt over this stuff? Or are you just looking for something to bitch about? That's what I wonder.
I think a lot of times it's just because, well, you didn't support me to do that, blah blah blah.
Okay, so this is not what we agreed to talk about today. We went down that rabbit hole before we even got the shovel out.
You know how we are. But we wanted to talk about people who do DIY today.
I don't even like those letters, DIY. It sounds like some kind of misdemeanor that you got charged with. I'm
Uh,
arresting for failure to show for your DIY.
I was telling her, you know, she said she's fascinated by these people that take furniture and redo it. And she said she's done that. But there's other things that she doesn't believe in or thinks that's just ludicrous. What is that, Deborah?
Well,
You,
it's
I
not that I don't believe in them. I mean, people do it. I believe that people do it. It's just I don't understand why they do it. Okay.
understanding. Yeah.
I mean, I love the concept of taking things because it reminds you of your childhood and using it to decorate your home, or taking something that's broke and make it into something usable. I believe in that. To me, that's recycling, and that's what we should be doing instead of throwing
Mhm.
everything away. I don't like this throwaway concept that we have. But I watch these people do things, and you're like, that looks beautiful, but I know that looks tacky in person, you know?
Yeah, like I was telling you that I did in my kitchen, they were little paper squares, like a like I don't know, tile squares. And you're supposed to be able to put them over tile to, I guess, mask whatever's up there. And my kitchen was so boring where I was living that I wet them and I put them over the tiles. Now, you could tell it was not what was up there. And then after a while, they start peeling off. So, yeah, it looks like crap.
Well, and that's what I wonder about. Well, there's two things, two, two mints in one. No. Oh yeah, I'm wound up. I had a meeting today, got me wound up. But um, so like when you paint your cabinets, or like if you like put down, or if you like you paint your floor, which gets a lot of traffic, you know, like stairs and hallways, or you paint your countertop, or paint the ceramic tile in your bathroom, eventually there's going to get a scratch. And the minute there's a scratch that breaks that seal, it's going to start peeling. Now,
Mhm.
so now you've got all this stuff and you've got to sand it down and redo it or whatever. And I'm just like, why didn't you just replace it to begin with? You know? And that's the kind of things that would drive me nuts. And does it look tacky? In my opinion, it does. Maybe other people just say, oh, it looks distressed. And, you know, you go in there and you scratch it up all over and just make it look like it's worn. I don't know. I'm not that creative, you know? The other thing that just like gets my OCD going, if I have it, if not, it just annoys me because I'm picky, is they do some beautiful things. They do some beautiful things, and they show the before and after, and it's this bare hallway, and then now it's got this beautiful coat rack and, you know, ferns and all stuff. I'm like, but who the hell does that? You know?
I think that when they redo a house, the first thing I notice is it really looks sterile, like nobody lives there.
Yeah, I mean, and how do you live there? How do you, you know, and it gets cluttered looking sometimes, you know, and if that's what you like, that's fine. But are you dusting it? I want to know. I'm a person that has asthma and I control it without drugs. And I don't want to know what's going on in your house before I go in. Because if you got dust that thick on that
Yeah.
vintage frame that you reformatted and hung a shoe with it to make it look like a three-dimensional picture, I'm not coming in.
Yeah, I'm not a good housekeeper. So you know, you were talking about tchotchkes and things. I have little pictures of my family, but that's it.
I don't even have pictures of my family up anymore because they need dusting. They're on my computer, they're on my phone. I'm like, oh, you know, they pop up and my Amazon photos and my Google photos every day, and I have
Well,
memories.
let me reclassify that. I have pictures of my grandson.
Oh yeah,
Nobody else.
yeah, yeah. So you know, and I look at my stuff, and I have gotten rid of a lot of things over the years. I used to collect, you know, all kinds of things. I used to collect unicorns, and I used to collect music boxes, and and I still have some of the pieces that I really, really like, but most of them I gave away to people that said, "Oh, I love it." I'm like, "Well, here, take it." I cannot tell you how much crap I gave away. And now I go through the house, and if it's not in the cabinet or it actually has a home where it can stay that's decorative and it's easy to dust, it's got to be easy to dust. Okay. I got to be able to run that Swiffer thing over it without knocking it over, or it's out of here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I just want to load everything up and take it to my daughter in Washington and say, "Here, this is yours. You have it."
Now
I'm
you
done with
figure
it.
out what to do with it. Well,
Exactly.
Robert and I were talking about that because we're getting ready to move again. And I told him, I said, look, when we get to our new apartment, I want to use my mother's Desert Rose plates. I said,
Oh, I
there's
love
no
those.
reason, yeah, there's no reason that we can't use it. Some of them are chipped, some of them aren't, but let's use that because that's a family thing. And I think I would enjoy using them every day.
I had two sets of china, 12 place settings, each one of them. Both are Noritake, I think, or one of those other things that were made in Japan
Mhm,
before World War II.
mhm.
Both of them have silver on them.
So you can't put them in the microwave.
Can't put them in the microwave, and you can't put them in the dishwasher.
No.
And I actually would probably use the one that has the blue flowers with the silver rim in it, except that somebody in this house would forget and they'd stick those damn things in the microwave. And because if they put them in the dishwasher and they fade, I don't care, because they're just sit. I've got the sugar bowl and I got the creamer and I got
Mhm.
all kinds of little pieces. I don't even know. They were not family stuff. I don't know how I got these. Somebody gave these to me years ago, or we picked them up to sell in our eBay store when we had that for the council and they never sold. I've tried to give this shit away. I have tried to sell this shit. And nobody wants it.
Mhm.
Nobody wants it. It's China. So
Well, it's not, I guess it's not as common anymore to hand down heirlooms. I
well,
know
if you live
my,
in a tiny house, where are you going to put all that crap?
what?
If you live in a tiny house, the
Well,
tiny house
you're
everybody,
not.
you
You're
know,
not going to be able to. And I asked my kids, I said, I have my mom's silver. Do y'all want to split it or do you want to take it? Do you want to? My oldest son says, Mom, all I want is some pictures.
I take that stuff and melt it down into jewelry somewhere. Seriously.
Well, I said, okay. And when I asked Robert, he goes, like, when am I going to need silverware?
Yeah, take it, melt it down or something. I don't know, do something with it. But it just, I tell you what, there's so here. And Scott and I talk about this all the time because every time we drive somewhere, because he serves process and we do surveillance and we like to just drive around and look and see what's different throughout the city. Because I mean, everything changes constantly around it. There is a new storage building going up at least once a week, no, if you drive throughout Dallas County. I'm like, what kind of society do we have to where we have these big ass houses and we have so much crap that we're not willing to give up that we have to go buy or rent a house for our shit because we won't give it up. You know,
I got rid of half of the stuff in my garage.
I mean, no wonder immigrants want to come here because they're thinking, oh, you know what? We can go and rent a storage unit and live in it because those storage units are air conditioned, they're heated. And for a lot of those people in third world countries, that's
It's
better
an
living than what
improvement.
they can. Yeah. I mean, is that sick that we have storage units that are heated and cooled? And there are actually homeless people that will go and rent those and live in them. And then if they go get a gym membership, they can shower there. So between a storage unit and a gym membership, that they create a lifestyle. Now, is that sick that we have people that need to do that?
Well, because if it wasn't for Robert and I pooling our funds, we wouldn't be able to afford anything separately.
I understand that. And look, people, I have been homeless. I was homeless when my firstborn child was young, when he was less than a year old. I was homeless for over a month. So it's not like I don't have some experience with that. And people have no compassion for that situation at all. They're like, well, what'd you do to deserve that? I mean, they don't say it that way, but
But they
that's,
indicated,
yeah, that's the attitude. Like, well, and at the time I was working for Wayne Computers, but circumstances, and I mean, this is a long drawn out story. It's no point in going into it, but circumstances in my private life led me to where I had no place to live, and I was
mhm.
at outs with my family and had no place to go.
And that happened to us.
Yeah. So
The
it can,
kids were like 8 and 12.
yeah, yeah, and it can happen to anyone. It can happen. Now, let me tell you about the law of attraction, though. And if y'all want to read about that, you can read about it on my blog at deborahcolleenrose.com. Uh, with the law of attraction, within 2 months, I had a new business and we were pulling in 10 grand a week,
Yeah.
you know. But it still took time to recover and to get enough money accrued to get a place to live and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. So we were living in dumps for a while, you know. And I do mean dumps. I mean, the cockroaches were the size of my Morkie. I mean,
Well, if it wasn't for the kindness of friends letting us sleep on their floor, you know, we just went over there at night, showered, slept on the floor, got up the next morning and went to work.
and it's
And
terrifying, isn't it? Isn't it? It's out of,
yeah, it is.
even in your heart, I'm going to get through this. And you have a plan, so you've got it in your head. It's still terrifying because always in that subconscious is
Mhm.
what if? Because no one plans to get in that condition. And that
Well, and sometimes I see homeless people pushing their baskets and stuff, and I have to look at them and say, except for the grace of God, there go I.
absolutely, absolutely. How the hell did we get here?
I don't
Listen,
know.
it's trying to keep things straight. I'm going to have to fire you. You know, it's your job to keep things going. And look what
I
you let it do.
try. It's no use.
No, you encourage it. You just kind of you egg me on. You'll say things that will egg me on. I've
I do
noticed that.
not.
You do. Yes, you do. You do too.
No, not intentionally.
Well, I didn't say intentionally, but you still do it. I tell you what, I don't know why I'm so wound up. I had a meeting today, and the topic of the meeting was I was coaching a couple on communication styles, and I have not focused so intensely on communication in a while in my sessions because there have been other things with other clients, and I had forgotten how um, negative our basic language is. I mean, because I was listening, because I'm listening intently so I can see what we need to do to improve the communications between these two people. And I'm like, oh my God, people say that crap all the time. They say that crap all the time. They say that crap all the time. And it is so negative and accusatory and finger pointing. I'm like, it's a wonder that people just don't, we're not living in the Wild West with everybody shooting everybody up. Okay, yeah, I take offense to what you say. We're gonna gun it out, draw, that type of thing.
Well, that's why I worry about text because there's no inflection. There's I use emojis all the time to
Yeah, but sometimes
reflect.
I don't know what the emojis mean. I have literally screenshotted something and sent it to my daughter, going, "What's this mean?"
Well, I usually use the happy face or the sad face or the mad face or
But do you know what an eggplant means?
yes, I do.
I didn't for a long time. And one day I sent to someone, I said, you need to eat more vegetables. And I sent them the eggplant emoji. That started a whole different
Well,
conversation.
that the eggplant is usually followed by the water, the squirting water.
I didn't know that. See, I just learned. I don't do that dirty talk. What's wrong with you people? I don't do dirty talk.
I don't do it, but other people do it for me.
Ugh.
Here, this is
I
for you.
cuss, but I don't do dirty talk. I'm a doer, not a talker. That's why I don't do sports. I don't watch sports. Sports are to do, not to watch. I don't get this watching sports crap, you know?
Mm.
But you know what? I have a theory about why we're so ingrained in sports. Think about it. When TV first came out, there was nothing on TV but professional sports on Sunday. So this has
Right,
been going on in the 40s and 50s. So we've
right.
got over 70 years of ingraining into society sports. And people
Well,
got
and
emotional.
before TV, it was a way of entertainment,
Yeah,
you
that's true too.
because baseball was very big. My dad's father was on a minor league baseball team. So,
I think that's the mafia's fault. I think they encourage gambling. And so this was for them to make money. So they've got people involved in these games so that they would bet on them. I mean, think about how much
mhm.
betting goes on. But I was I got my bangs cut Saturday. And I was sitting in the salon listening to these people talk, and this guy was talking, he's an older guy, even older than me. And he was talking about the fact that his son's family of four spend like $1,500 to go to the Cowboys game. And they do it quite often. And he says that he's pretty sure that his son has no savings because they spend their money on stuff like that. How is going to a game like that? Why is the value of that worth $1,500? I don't get it.
Well,
And
it
just
wouldn't be to me.
and going to a concert. You can't even buy a concert ticket really for less than $150 in the back row. I mean, and how much do people pay for like these Taylor Swift tickets and stuff? God help us. But you know, I
Well, what about your little comedian you were talking about? Uh, what's his first name?
Matt, Matt,
Huh? Matt, because
I think,
he's coming here
oh, is he?
to Arlington.
Yeah, but see, when you buy a ticket to Matt, you're not just buying a show. You're buying a fantasy.
Okay.
Oh,
The first row of the balcony is $60.
I could do $60. I could justify $60 in my head, but nobody's going to go with me because I'm not spending more than $60. But you know, just
Well, that's just it. So that $60 for you to see this comedian is worthwhile. So it's only from the perspective of the person who's doing it. If they are so adamant about being cowboy fans and the children just eat it up,
but to go into debt to charge it and
no.
that's what I don't get. And then let's talk about the tickets that they scalp where they pay thousands of dollars, and then the Super Bowl tickets. I mean, I don't. What kind of pleasure are you getting to justify that kind of money? I don't get it because I probably wouldn't even spend $60 on a Matt Rife ticket, but honestly, because then you got to pay for parking and because I'm on a valet because I'm a lazy bitch. And then you got to have some snacks and drinks. Well, there's another $50. Have you priced drinks lately? And
Now, we used to take the kids to the movies. It was $15, $20 to get in the movie for all four of us,
yeah,
but it was $35 for popcorn and Coke.
yeah. And I got to have my popcorn and Coke at a movie. I do. I do. I tried to get through the movie last week. Where what? Oh, I took Scarlett. Scarlett and I went to the movies together, my granddaughter. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get popcorn because, when I take her home, it'll be dinner time. And I couldn't make it through the movie. About halfway through, I hit that little button on my seat and I had to get that popcorn halfway through. It's just not right. You got to have the popcorn, and I have to have it layered with butter. So this is how you have to order it. They put popcorn in and layer butter, popcorn in, layer butter. I finally figured out how to get this right, so you get the right percentage of butter throughout the popcorn. So I get that it's pleasurable. But I'm like, where do you draw the line? Just in general, where do people draw the
Well, I
line?
think you have to draw the line if you're going to go into debt when you have two children and a spouse, when you should be spending that money, like you said, either on uh, clothes or food or what'd you say, retirement.
Yeah, and but I hear from people, well, I work hard and I deserve this. And I'm like, you're right. We deserve pleasure in our lives. My question is this really truly pleasure for you, or does it feel like an entitlement because this is what everybody else does? And is this another form of keeping up with the Joneses?
I think it's keeping up with the Joneses, is what I think.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, to me, like going to Disneyland, I can't think of anything more horrific, being surrounded by all those people, waiting in line, having little kids throw up on your shoe while they're waiting in line. Got to wait in line to go to the bathroom. You got to wait in line to get a Coke. You know, and then you have all those weird dress costume things coming up to you, wanting to talk to you and want to make nice. And I'm like, no, get away from me. I just want to go ride the rides, and I want to get on quickly and get off quickly. And that you can't have that experience anymore. We could have that experience when we were growing up. I remember going to Six Flags. You got on the ride, you got off, on off. I mean, it was just that quick. You might wait 10 minutes, and oh my God, that was an eternity. You know. But you can't do that now. Even with the fast pass, it still takes a while to get on there.
Well, I took Robert once, Grandma, my mother, Anita, and Gigi and I took Robert, and he was 8 or 10. I don't remember which. And so that was his big excursion to Disneyland. That was it. I never went back. I never took him back. He never asked to go back. So,
Oh, I mean, you want to make memories for your family. You want to make memories for yourself. And so we've been having this discussion in our family about cruises. On one hand, I'm like, oh, I should experience a cruise. Everybody says they're great. And then my mind goes, are you fucking kidding me? You're stuck on a tin can with a bunch of people and in a little tiny room where where you're going to get claustrophobia if you try to hide. So you're going to be sleeping out on the Lido deck all the time, just to have some space. And there's going to be people walking around, and everybody goes, oh, but it's great because there's this to do. And I'm like, but I don't like doing those things. I'm a boring person, I think.
fun, boring.
Yeah, I can have fun sitting in traffic, and stuff like that. I
He
don't
is
need
entertaining in traffic.
I don't need to be entertained. I entertain myself. I
Mm-hmm.
like to read. I like to listen to music. I like watching people, but that's too many people in one space. And then the cherry on the cake is, what if it sinks? I've seen Titanic. I've seen it, you know. And the only reason those people didn't get eaten up by sharks is because it was too fucking cold in that water. But on a
Yeah, that's
cruise, you're in
pretty
that
cool.
warm water, and they dump all that food off the ship when it's scraps. So guess what? You got all those sharks following that boat, just waiting for someone to fall over the edge. And what do I look like? Look at my skin. I'm the other white meat. They're
She's
gonna want
dessert.
me. I will just glimmer in that water like a spinner. I'm telling you.
Save
Telling you.
save me.
Well, now, if I get someone to go with me, I always make them be in front of me so they can go first.
I'll remember that. I'll remember not to be the one to go.
You know, you got the sex trafficking in all these other countries, and they want a piece of this. Hot tamale. They want a piece of this. I actually, oh, that's another time. We'll talk about that. When it comes up sometime, say, Deborah, tell us about the beginning of Dubai and the exhibit they had in Dallas and what happened. And I'll tell you about that.
Beginning of Dubai?
Yeah. Before Dubai was built, okay, the city of Dubai
Oh,
was out in the desert. It was created. And when
right.
the idea for that, there was a convention here in Dallas about Egypt and Middle Eastern countries. And that was part of the exhibit of this city that they were going to build in the middle of the desert. And I was there and I almost got kidnapped.
Oh, you were in Dubai?
No, I was here in Dallas at the exhibit.
You almost got kidnapped in the exhibit?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we need to hear that story.
Yes, yes, yes. I used to be cute and fun. Now I'm just fun.
Well, you're pretty funny too.
Oh, I try. People don't laugh enough. That's the other thing. Everybody's going, come on, never. She laughs too big. Well, what the hell? That's the worst thing you can say about a person. My God, I like her belly
When
laugh.
I don't know what Robert was watching the other night when I came home, but he was just laughing so hard. And I started to go up there and go, "What's so funny?" Because,
Yeah.
he enjoys laughing at the TV and whatever's going on. And to me, that's a good way to lift your spirits.
Well, I like talking back to the comedians and stuff like that. And I love a good comedian. I do. I love a good comedian. I love their perspective. And as much as they make me laugh, they make me think, because
Mm.
especially Ricky Gervais, he is so morose. He's so morose and he owns it. But I have to admit, he says a lot of things that I think too, you know. So, and I love the way he tears them up at the Golden Globes. He just pokes fun at all of Hollywood and stuff. I think his Golden Globe work is just priceless.
Yeah, it's like going to a roast.
Yeah.
Remember
Well,
when they used to
with real
roast the
fire, with real fire.
I remember when they would do the roast of Johnny Carson or the roast of this person, or, it was a big deal because it was so funny.
And they got really mean even in the early days. I mean, they could really get mean, but now the ones I've seen in the past couple of years that I don't think they do them very often anymore, but I know there's mean because it's funny and there may be truth to it, there may not be. And then there's mean to be mean. And it seems like the roasts have just gotten mean to be mean in a lot of ways. So I don't like that. I'm good at it, but I don't do it. I can be mean just to be mean.
I can too, but then that makes me feel bad, really, when I'm mean.
It does me too. It really does. And but my whole family's like that. I tell you what, I've had some good examples of it and stuff. I keep watching our clock. I'm determined to keep us under 60 minutes so I can put this on TikTok.
Okay, well, we're just shooting the breeze today, I tell you. We're not
Well,
staying on any subject.
well, you know what? So what? It's our show. We do what we damn well want to. If you don't like it, turn it off, damn it.
Yeah, that's what I tell people uh, when they look at I don't like this show. I said, don't watch it.
Here's what gets me. Why do we care what you think? Did we ask? Why does everyone think you're entitled to an opinion, but why does everybody seem to think lately that they're entitled to share their opinion? Oh, here's my phone. That's my grandson
There's,
calling.
huh?
It's my grandson calling.
Oh,
He wants to come over and do some house cleaning, so I'll pay him. He's trying to save up money. So, but it's like, well, and you go, oh, I didn't want your opinion. Well, okay, but I'm entitled to give it to you. Well, okay, but I'm entitled to tell you I don't want it. But why do you have to get mad about it too? But what really gets me is when someone says, well, you said this. I'm like, no, that's not what I said. You weren't listening.
you interpreted that wrong.
That's your filter. Get over it. So I don't know. What else you want to bitch about? I'm in a bitchy mood today, I guess.
Uh, well, I'm not being very productive in the moving process. So I need to get on that.
Aren't
Huh?
you moving in? Aren't you moving in a week?
Oh, no, three weeks.
Hang on a second.
The 21st.
Rogan. 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 Yes, I'm recording my podcast right now, son. Let me call you back, okay? That's all right. You didn't know. I'll call you back. All right, bye. Yes, we'll take live calls on this show. You just have to know when to
Yes,
call.
but it may not pertain to anything.
Well, it's the third time he's called, so I'm
Bless
like,
his
okay,
heart.
yeah. So
Now he's all anxious.
yes, so that's why I took the call.
Yeah.
So you have 3 weeks to move. Have you
Mhm.
packed any?
I packed some books in that were in the
Oh,
living room. I did pack them, but I
Okay.
need to get more serious about my packing.
Well, you could just throw it in the back seat of your car and haul it that way and then throw it in the apartment.
Anything and everything I owned in my first apartment went in the back seat of my car. I didn't have to have boxes.
I hate moving. I hate moving with a passion.
Well, I think about you and how you got everything so organized. And I think, if I had been in the same house for X number of years, I would probably have that too.
Okay, wait a minute. Back off a minute. Let me tell you something right now that you don't know about me. My
Uh-oh.
house, we moved here 8 years ago this month. Okay. We bought this house so mother could move in with us stuff. We bought this house. We moved our crap from the other house in one day, and 2 days later, every picture was on the wall. Every piece of furniture was in its place, and everything was in the cabinets, and it looked like we had been here for years. So
Well, I think that's why I didn't put the pictures on the wall because I was not feeling like this is a place we're going to stay.
that's a shame because I think that place is really cute and it was so close. I hate that you're moving so far away.
Well, it's just not conducive to electrical bills. We had a $691 electrical bill this
Oh
winter.
Lord.
That was just 1 month.
Oh Lord. That's more than my house.
Right.
My house is
And
almost 30 square foot.
so all of the windows leak, all of the doors leak.
Oh Lord. Let's go get your shit now and get out of there.
Robert hurt his knee years ago, and now he's saying, "Mom, I can't do the stairs anymore."
Oh, bless his heart. Yeah, I don't like
So
stuff.
there's a lot of things going on that don't fit with us, and I'll miss my garage. Is all I can say.
Well, as I've gotten older, one of the things I realize is that I have never liked stairs and I've always had bad balance. And I realize now it's because of sinuses. I always,
Really?
so so I've never learned how to skate because when I would skate, I would feel like I was upside down. I never had any balance. And so going upstairs is not so bad, but coming downstairs, I always feel like I'm falling. Always. And I have felt that way all my life. And I'm like, well, this is not an old age thing. This is how I've always felt, you know?
Yeah.
So
Those little monoliths in your ear are probably all out of whack.
I don't know what it is because I breathe fine and everything, and I control my asthma well, I don't have, I hadn't had an asthma attack in 15 years. And
Well, our balance is the little semicircular canals in our ear is the thing that our balance
so
is
do you think
based
I
on.
need those drains or something?
No, I think you need them. There's a thing now where they help you realign them. And Kathleen was telling me about it. And her husband's been dizzy, and the physical therapist takes him in there and realigns the things in his ear. I never heard of it, but that's what she does for him. And she said they almost have to correct it every time.
Well, it's funny because since I got my hip replacement, yeah, I'm falling apart. Get over it. And I actually feel better than I felt since I was 25. My pain
Wow.
level is stays around a 3 with the fibromyalgia stuff and the
Mm-hmm.
lipedema stuff. So I feel like I'm getting younger, except for this wobble neck. Don't look.
Yeah. Don't look at my neck. I think the same way too. After I had my knees done, it was like, Katie, bar the door. I can do this. And I was trying to get something out of an incubator. And one of the students says, your knees hurt. Let me do it. And I just plopped down without even thinking about it and pulled the stuff. I said, it's okay. I just had my knee fixed.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
but you don't really realize how much pain you're in until the pain's gone.
exactly. I was in a lot less pain after the surgery than before.
So all right, so we're tired of y'all bitching, and we're not going to bitch anymore. But it's our show; we can bitch if we want to. It's our party; we can bitch if we want to. Bitch if we want to. So, what else? Because
I
I'm
don't
watching this.
know. I wish if anybody is looking at this podcast that they would send us some suggestions for subjects for us to talk about because we don't know what other people like, and we're going to always talk about what we like.
And we might not even talk about it, even if you send it to us. I'm just telling you, it just depends on what mood we're in. But
Just,
we will take it under advisement.
yeah, that would, send it to Deborah.
Deborah Colleen Rose at gmail.com. But let me tell you something. Okay, so I know this looks like a really professional organization we got over here. We usually get on the phone about 10 minutes before we go in there and go, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
So, and so usually everything we talk about is because something's irritated us in real life or whatever. So I guess we need to just kind of change our perspective a little bit and say, okay, what's good happened to you this week that we can talk about? Nothing, damn it. Did you win the
Well,
lottery?
they say when your kids come home from school, that's what you're supposed to do. Tell me one thing that was good about today and
Well,
get them to start talking about it.
the grandkids used to go to school. Can y'all see the high school? No, the elementary school. I'm pointing to. So my grandkids went to the elementary school in our neighborhood for like 4 years. And so they'd come to my house every day after school and we would have snack. And every day it's during snack, we'd do the roses and thorns. And they'd have to tell me one thing that was their rose for the day and one thing that was their thorn for the day. So I always found that really, I mean, you get a wealth of information from kids when you look,
Yes,
give them
because if
time to
you just
talk.
say how was school, they're going to say fun. You have to ask a specific question to get a
Yeah.
specific answer.
Yeah. So it made them think, it made them analyze their day. And I thought they would probably blow me off a lot, but they did. Mine was got really profound answers from them, all three of them. So,
That's good.
all right. Well, tell them how to find you. I'm done.
Um, www.ancientherbalapothecary.com, and you can send me an email at luann at ancientherbalapothecary.com.
And if you don't know what that means, look it up. No.
Now, my website and my email, because I make herbal products.
Yes. And she will, talk to you about your aches and your pains and things. And she will tell you all these wonderful things that she knows. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, if you'll go and look, there is actually a playlist where she has discussed herbs and what they do and different things. And if you have a specific herb you'd like to know more about, email us and we'll do a little show on that herb in particular. So,
Oh yeah, because I do. We don't fly by the seat of our pants at that. We look it up.
yeah, because she's the
We do
expert.
some we do some research.
She does. I don't do it. She does. So anyway, I have three businesses. This show is sponsored by Miles of Smiles Events. Yes, we're gypsy fortune tellers, but we're so much more. We do kiss print readings, handwriting analysis. We can customize intuitive readings to meet your theme, your group, your age group, whatever, because we're all about giving you encouraging, uplifting, and affirming messages and make people feel good. And they will think you are the hostess with the mostest because they left there feeling wonderful. I have Investigative Solutions Group, ISGU.com, private investigations. I will tell you what you need to know to make a good decision about whatever it is you're trying to handle. And then Deborah Colleen Rose, I do spiritual coaching, communication coaching, and handwriting therapy. So we got it all covered one way or the other. So stay tuned. We're talking again. Watch out. And we'll be here next week. We'll see y'all later.
Bye now.